Hello friends, welcome to another video. Today's review is Smith by Nikki Powell-Preto. She's a Canadian author. This is book one of the Smith Duology. She's also written the Crown of Feathers trilogy. If you haven't read those, I highly recommend them as well. I love the cover on this with the detail. It really shows the main character really well, what she looks like. I will read the description for you. Ready your blade, defeat the undead. In the Dominions, the dead linger, violent and unpredictable, unless a bonesmith severs the ghosts from their earthly remains. For Bonesmith Wren, becoming a Valkyr, a ghost-fighting warrior, is a chance to solidify her place in the noble house of Bone and impress her frequently absent father. But when sabotage causes Wren to fail her qualifying trial, she is banished to the border wall, the last line of defense against a wasteland called the Breach, where the vicious dead roam unchecked. Determined to reclaim her family's respect, Wren gets her chance when a House of Gold prince is kidnapped and taken beyond the wall. To prove she has what it takes to be a Valkyr, Wren vows to cross the breach and rescue the prince. But to do so, she is forced into an uneasy alliance with one of the kidnappers, a fierce ironsmith called Julian from the exiled House of Iron, the very people who caused the breach in the first place, and the House of Bone's sworn enemy. As they travel, Wren and Julian spend as much time fighting each other as they do the undead. But when they discover there's more behind the kidnapping than either of them knew, they'll need to work together to combat the real danger, a dark alliance that is brewing between the living and the undead. So the main characters are Wren, Julian, and the prince. His name is Leo. Wren's cousin Inera. Vance is her father's name, and Odile, Odile, I don't know. She is a bonesmith at the wall that Wren gets sent to. There's also like the commander of the wall, and I'm trying to remember, I forgot her uncle's name. Locke. Her uncle's name is Locke, Vance's brother, and he was a war hero in the Battle of the Breach. So the whole book, I'm going to write Locke down before I forget, because there is another book, and I will be doing a review on that soon, because I just started it, so I'm excited about that. The whole book is written in third person, and it jumps. Most of the chapters are from Wren's point of view, but there are a few from Julian's and a few from Leo's point of view, which is kind of interesting to see when Wren and Leo are separated, because when Leo gets kidnapped, obviously. I've lost my train of thought. I didn't notice any serious plot holes. Again, I've never looked for them. I'm going to stop talking about that because I don't really care. I stop talking about plot holes. There are no dragons, but it is a world of magic, and there are dead animals in it, like deer and stuff like that. The story is kind of interesting, like a world where like ghosts aren't separated from their bodies right away, and they need help so that they can pass on, but they don't want help. They want to be alive still, so they linger. So I think that whole idea is pretty interesting in itself. I felt that it was pretty evenly paced. It starts off right away with her trial to become a full-fledged bonesmith, and things go wrong right from the beginning. I guess you could say it's kind of like the main plot, like the main things are predictable. You know, like when she gets trapped with the ironsmith Julian, and you know right away that it's going to become like they're enemies, but they are forced to work together, and then they become friends. There is a small amount of romance. It is an enemies to lovers, but that's not the main part of the story. Mildly, not really spicy. I'd say like 14 plus. There's a makeout scene. But yeah, it doesn't really get very spicy. I've read Nikki's other trilogy, and it's mostly Fade to Black stuff, so I'm assuming that's what will happen in book 2 with this one, if they have any kind of scenes like that. There was some twists thrown in that surprised me. Again, I don't try and figure things out in advance, so I found those very interesting, and I'm looking forward to book 2 to see how that develops. If there's going to be another twist in there with... I can't say too much because I don't want to give it away. Well, with her family, let's say. Let's say it's with her family, with her dad and her uncle and everything like that. So that was kind of interesting to figure out the whole plot with things going on, people making alliances with the dead are kind of interesting. I forgot another character. I forgot to mention Julian's uncle, because he is also an important role. I cannot remember his name, but I'll look him up, and I'll mention him in the next book review, which will be in the description box below once I get that done. The ending was definitely satisfying for book 1. The main problem with this book is wrapped up, but they still leave unsolved things that need to happen to get going, so there's more to do with the next book. It ends on a good note for book 1, but you know there's more. Like, there's no serious cliffhangers, but you know there's more to the plot, more to the story, so you want to get the next one to keep reading. I already mentioned how fast it was paced. I like how the characters develop. In the beginning, Ren is a little selfish and childish, and she grows and learns and gets better. I like how she develops. It's very nice. Developing, like, as a person and with her friends, with Julian and Leo. So that's really nice. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I don't know what. Books it compares to. I'm going to compare it to her other books because that's her writing style. Holly, she's got a similar writing style to Holly Black, which I also highly enjoy. I like Holly Black's writing as well. Who else does it remind me of? A little bit of Stephanie Garber. A little bit of Stephanie Garber as well. But she definitely has her own unique style, and I recommend all her books. If you are Canadian, check her out because she is Canadian. I am going to brag about that. Everyone loves... I shouldn't say everyone. I should say everyone loves bragging about their own heritage and culture and country. So, yeah, if you were from England and you're going to be bragging about an English author or UK author, right? So, yeah, bragging about a Canadian. Anyway, I definitely recommend it. I totally think it's worth the read. It was very well paced, very interesting. I would rate it 4 out of 5 stars. Exceeded my expectations. Totally likable, totally relatable characters. Definitely engaging, complex characters. Emotionally moving. That's what I forgot about. I forgot to mention the emotions. It was mostly disappointment for things, and anger for Ren, for feeling for the things that she's had to go through, and a little bit of shock and what's the word I'm looking for? Intrigue when the twists and stuff were thrown in. So that's kind of good, and a little, happiness for her and Julian, because that's always fun. But yeah, I definitely totally recommend it. Definitely a page turner. I had a hard time putting it down. I am so glad I already own it. It will be on the list of books that I might potentially reread in the future. Pay attention for when I do book 2 if you enjoyed this review. And yeah, check it out. Bonesmith by Nikki Powell Prano. I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed that video. Please, please like and subscribe. It means so much to me. And I will see you all in the next video.